I met someone important today. I didn't expect to have anything to say, but I I have to journal about it right away so I remember all the details because it was profound. I okay, so when I journaled this morning, when I started to talk, I looked off into space for a little bit because I was thinking that I felt intuition wise that I was going to meet someone important today. Of course, in the back of my head, I'm like thinking that it must be like a romantic thing, right? So I go to the gym after journaling. First of all, I feel like I'm on Molly. Like I'm really just happy. Um, and it's not just because of the person I met, but because my energy's back. Because like everyone I met today is like, wow, you're so handsome. I went to that birthday party. Let me just take you along the journey. So this morning, I go to the gym. When I finish working out, I'm doing cardio, and then this girl comes next to me, and she like waves, and I'm like, "Oh, hey." Uh, she used to work for my dad, and she's like a little fobby. She's fobby. Um, and we talked for a little bit. Like we got like a protein shake together, and then I was thinking like, oh well, I'm going to like a birthday party um, for one of my dad's friends. It would be cool if you came. I'm thinking like maybe the universe put this person in front of my face for that, even though I don't feel like we had a chance to date, and I wasn't really into it. I think she got her boobs done since then, or I wasn't paying attention the first time, or she's just wearing something low cut. It's immaterial. Um, so I invited her. I was like, yeah, like she's like, I really love your dad. You don't understand. I'm like, yeah, a lot of people think that. Um, so she had to do something, and I was like, yeah, come after. And when I got there, and I was just being amongst the people, I felt, I don't want to bring her and change the dynamic. Like I want to be present and people talk to me, not have to be like babysitting somebody. So she's like, "Hey, I can come now," and I was like, "Yeah, we'll probably be done by then." And talking to like the young kids table, and then as I'm going to leave, I see a guy. Now this is the fucking cool part. This is so cool. I can't believe it actually. I see this guy. I met him like a month and a half ago at a different party, and he sings and he's around my age, and he took a like interest in talking to me um, at that time. And here he's sang a couple songs, and he was standing at the back of the room alone. And when he sees me, he's like, "Oh, hey, how's it going? Like, how are you?" I'm like, "Good." He's like, "Are you still?" I was like, "No." And he's like, "What? Do you mind if I ask? Like, you don't have to tell me." I was like, and I kept pausing because like I was like, "Look, I don't want to say anything negative because she's not a bad person, and it's not a matter of not loving, and um, like I tried and this and that." And he started crying, and he tells me that's exactly what his last relationship was. And he said after 5 months he finally allowed himself to cry, and he was saying that then he starts talking. So I barely gave him any information. He says that he had his spiritual awakening while he was in a relationship. He says that she has a father wound. He said, "You're treating me like I'm your father. I'm not him. I love you." And she's like, not just emotionally and mentally abusing him, she would physically abuse him. And he understands just as I do. Like, it's not, like it's a hurt person. It's not, you can't. He's like, "Do you understand? I can kill you. I'm strong." And he had restraint because he understands she's not trying to hurt him. And the part where he said, "I'm not your father, I love you," like I was like, "Fuck!" Like that's I feel like he's saying my words. And he's like, "Your energy is completely different." He's like, I'm telling you, I'm psychic." He's like, "I could tell that her energy is stuck and that you are closed off because of her." And he was thinking at the time, he's like, "What's wrong with this guy? Like, why is he like this? His dad is so open and friendly and all this stuff." And he starts giving me his read on it at the time. And I was like, like, you're saying exactly the words in my head, dude. Like, and then we start talking. I was like, "You know what synchronicity is?" He's like, "That's why Carl Jung says he knows God." I'm like, "Say more things, sir." So he says every morning he prays for synchronicities. Every single morning he knows they're happening. He prays for the ability to catch them, so he knows where he's guided. So he said he had his spiritual awakening while he was in his relationship, and he was trying to help his girlfriend. And he said, like, "Let me show you." He's like, "I've had, I can't tell you who it is, but I have to tell you this part." It's like, "I've had, like there was like a death early. He had sexual abuse, parents divorced. Like he's like, you name it, I've had it." And I had my awakening. I was like, "I can help you. Just listen to me. Like, let me help you. Just like, we'll do it together." And then every emotion this guy portrayed, I was like, "Holy fuck, that's exactly, this is, this man is a mirror image of me. This guy is my spiritual brother. He lives his life exactly like I do. He has the same, like he formulates his thoughts the same way. He genuinely is awake. He genuinely is awake." And he was saying like, "What I see in you, you're about to take off." He's like, "More than you could ever imagine. It's like your energy's there. I can see it. I can feel it, and you're about to take off." And then he was. I was like, "Honestly, I feel like I've been journaling every day because I feel like that. Because I feel like I've been put through a spiritual test and learning stuff, and I've never journaled more in my life." And then, this guy independently, his own story, his own life, has the exact same. He came to the same conclusions as me down the line. And I kept thinking, like, where do I literally went to this, I signed up for that spiritual class. Like, where do I find spiritual people? Where do I find people that are genuinely spiritual, not like, fingering themselves with crystals or whatever, or Reiki, or fucking, it's Jesus, it's this, it's that. It's like there's inner work that needs to be done. And if you don't do that, none of that external shit matters. I don't believe anything you say about crystals if you don't know why you're fucking traumatized and haven't worked through it. You don't fucking know. You don't fucking know. So I legit feel like I'm on drugs right now. I feel like I'm on Molly. I feel like my eyes are huge. I like unlocked something. Like it validated everything. It validated everything. It's it was, yeah. It was so, and like as I was talking and just telling him normal, like in my best, like politically correct, like I love her. It's not a, it's not a matter of not love, and it's like I don't even necessarily think it's a maturity thing. It's just like he's like, your vibration is different. I could see that right away. And like tears in his eyes. This guy took such an interest, and he was like immediately like, "This guy is my fucking spiritual brother." I kept saying every time I'm like, I only know women on the spiritual path. This fucking guy's exactly on the same path. Such a nice guy too. I don't even know why I left. Should have just stayed there talking to him. He had to sing, and I don't like crowds. Anyways, fuck me. I cannot believe it. I cannot believe it. You don't look like literally that. Like the plans that were canceled today, like me canceling. Like the thing is, the girl could have come, and I wouldn't have had this conversation. It would have been delayed. If the girl came, I would have had to like babysit her or just pawn her off to my father, which, he's going around videotaping everybody. It's not happening. I love that my dad, he's just walking around videotaping the party. He wants to like remember all of it. It's like he's on mushrooms. He's just, yeah, he's good. Good job, Dad. He did it. He knows something. And you know what? He got rid of his siren, Mom. Fucking Mom. I resented my mom. I was like, why can't you just be happy? Why can't you fucking, do you want to be right or do you want to be happy? You're making everybody miserable with your bullshit going on with you. And I resented her for so long. I resented her my entire life. My entire life. I hated her. Like, get your shit together, lady. Like, you left me at school till 8 p.m. Like, strange people are talking to me. I'm in third grade. This isn't, you know what I mean? One time these days they'll take you away from your parents. But she's distracted with her pain. She was distracted by her emotions, and she's like sleeping it off. She's distracting herself. She shouldn't have had fucking kids. Because this is what happens. And it's a generational thing. It happened to her, then it happens to me, and then I do it to the next fucking dickhead. I'm not going to do it. And fuck me, am I not going to marry someone who does that? Absolutely not. And in an unconscious state, I absolutely would have. We're like, this is what love looks like. Okay, let's go your speed. Let's do everything that you want to do because that's worked for you. Fuck me. Like, I can't believe it. How much I gaslight myself. But like, I genuinely think my dad and mom still love each other, even though they didn't admit it while they're together. Why would they admit it now? But like they couldn't, you know what I mean? How long do you force it? At what point you're like, okay, if you want to live in hell and be miserable, be my guest. I'm fucking going this way. He has all these friends, and he's like, when people are happy, they're living in the moment. When people are happy, they take lots of pictures. It's the top of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. It's like once you have fulfillment, once your basic safety's met, you have, work and purpose. At the top of the pyramid is enlightenment. It's self-actualization, and the people there are getting more out of life. They're living in the moment. They take pictures, they take videos, they're loving life. And you know what? My dad does not buy anything fancy. He wears mild clothes. He doesn't buy anything new. If he does, he gets it from Costco. And I have no idea how much this man's worth. He would never wear it. If he was a billionaire, I'd have no fucking idea, honestly. And there's the strength in that. The strength in that is, you know what I mean? Like, he doesn't need anything. He knows that. He goes on fucking 30-mile walks every Sunday. He hangs out with the people that love him. Like, everybody that he was walking me around this room, like, this is my son. Wow, he's so handsome. I love your dad. Like, yeah, I understand. Everybody's saying, I love your dad, I love your dad. And then I think he was this the whole time, and he wasn't allowed to be, because my mom didn't want to be there. My mom didn't want to socialize. My mom was in her feelings, so she didn't enjoy it. She didn't come. She didn't want to be friends with those people. There's always like some kind of drama, or I'm not feeling it, or there's always something that, then he wasn't allowed to fill his cup outside of, he wasn't allowed to go be social. He had to just be home. And then she didn't want to do anything at home, so he'd like watch movies or read books. And then she's like, I don't want you to do that either. She's like, everything that makes him whole, she's like, hey, stop that. You need to be miserable with me. What is with fucking Persian women? Can't be happy, can't let you to be happy. Better way to phrase that, but it's obviously trauma. Like, at the end of the day, like, when I realized that my mom is living in hell and created her own hell because she views everything through this lens of negativity. The rain cloud that follows her is dictating how she sees everything that comes into her life, so even good things she perceives as bad or not good enough. I should be a princess in a castle, and I should have all the nice things and chauffeured and this and that, and short of that, I won't be happy or let anyone else be happy. It's a fucked up thing to do to yourself, honestly. But when I realized, how much pain my mom is in, that she has all she can do is share it, I text her that I love her. I'm gonna do it when I hang up too. I don't do it enough. And I do love her. It's just the hardest person in the world to love. Just like my fucking ex. The hardest fucking, they won't allow it. They won't allow you to love them. It's fucking horrific. It's a horrific way to live. And then, yeah, it's the same demon I've been fighting my whole life. So interesting to find someone who had the exact same experience. Here's another thing I said. I watched some shit about astrology. It was this fucking moon. There's 2 moons in Capricorn. I was like, I'm absorbing information to see if there's a pattern and just see what people have to say. So like, does this apply? Does this not? Like when my aunt read my tarot or whatever, I was like, this doesn't apply. But I was like, I'll listen. Go ahead. Yeah, you don't know. Well, she didn't know about moving. I don't know about the rest of it, to be fair. We'll see. But I listened to some astrology thing, and it was talking about a month ago was the first full moon in Capricorn. And she's like, think about what you were doing a month ago. And then this is a second moon in Capricorn, full moon in Capricorn. And this is about closing karmic cycles. And that fucking definitely applies. This isn't just like I was closing the cycle of the relationship, but it was closing the cycle of a life of doing it. And even having a dream that's talking about it, like I'm connected to something profound. I'm realizing it in real time, and I'm experiencing it in real time, and it's all I want to talk about. It's all I want to think about. So you know what I mean? I wish everybody had this feeling. I wish everybody felt like I feel loved by God. I feel loved by the universe. I mean, I feel like, my spiritual brother, his name is Dariush. Oops, I won't give you his last name. He said, he's like, we're so lucky. Isn't this world beautiful that we get to experience this? It's like, this motherfucker has been reading my diaries. He thinks and talks exactly like me. It's like, even the pain, it is a beautiful thing to experience. And I told him, we don't listen to music to hear the last note, and he's a musician. It's like, take that with you, keep it forever. I can't explain the feeling. I can't explain the feeling. Just say I feel vindicated. I feel happy. I feel like dancing. I feel so overwhelmed. I literally feel like I took Molly. I'm like leaking energy. I'm. It's real. I'm about to level up. Now, I'd be lying if I said I didn't know that already. but I wasn't able to enjoy it because I know I can't take people with me into this vibration. It's like a personal thing that you have to do on your own. You have to pass your own tests and get through the things and discover yourself and whatever. And that makes me sad. You know? Because look at, my mom will be 70 soon. She never figured it out. She doesn't know how it's her, you know? It's always someone else's fault. And no matter what, my dad could have been in chains in the basement. She would have still found, like, I mean, it still would have been a problem. Don't shit on that side of the room, shit on that side of the room. I wish she could break her chains. I wish the people that I loved could break their chains. You know, it's hard to celebrate your own success when you know others are suffering. So I don't often allow myself to be happy even when I figure things out or when I uncover things, because everybody else is miserable. So many people are miserable and unaware of how they're, sorry, I was getting a phone call, unaware of how they are not just contributing to the misery, but they are the architects of it, you know? And I think it was a good thing for me to talk to this new friend. Why is this getting dark? Go this way. Yeah, he like validated and commiserated. It was like it's so cathartic all of a sudden to, like, he was boosting my energy because he's on the same vibration. And it's so funny that he like recognized, I'm sorry, I'm doing this. He recognized the dynamic in my relationship. He recognized like how it was affecting me. Like, I would have read the same thing, honestly. When you're in it, it's, you know what I mean? You lie to yourself. I earned the feeling of happiness. So I'm done with the, feeling sorry for other people that don't want to do the minimum work on themselves. I'm done. I'm not going into the abyss anymore. I'm going to heaven. You coming? No? Good luck. Genuinely good luck. Love you. Goodbye. Like, I can't do it. After I said abyss in this fucking video, this last video, my YouTube started showing me things about the archetype of the abyss. Nietzsche is how you actually pronounce it, said that when you stare long enough at the abyss stares back. And then Aleister Crowley talked about how the abyss is part of the spiritual journey. How interesting that I dreamed about it and talked about it. It's part of the spiritual journey, and he named some demon that resides in the abyss. And you have to pass a spiritual test before you achieve enlightenment. There was a book I read by Paulo Coelho called The Pilgrimage. I might have talked about it once or twice. And he talked about how the devil enters people in order to influence or change your spiritual path or affect you or challenge you. And he makes you a threat, and he makes you a promise, and then he makes an attack on your weak side. My weak side is my empathy. my weak side, my empathy would have trapped me in hell. I would have, out of some sense of it's the hero archetype or something, I would have sacrificed my life to try to save someone else. And just like this dream, and just like this guy figured out, like, that's not it. That's not it. I asked him, I was like, did your girlfriend move on right away? He told me, he's like, I haven't been on a date in 6 months. I was like, good man. He's like, I don't know, but I saw her randomly on Instagram and she was traveling Europe. She's probably with someone. He's like, she's just running away. She's escaping. She's not doing the work. I was like, this man knows his shit. This man knows exactly all the things that I know, but like, it's hard not to be. You're in the 3D world. You're having 3D experiences in 3D. You know what I mean? Like, that's the fun of it, is forgetting everything and learning it all over again. How many times have I done this? Let's see if I can make it out this time. Let's see if I start off this way, if I still end in the same place. I felt like I released something from just being near someone with the same vibration. All of a sudden, like, my vibration is augmented. Like, that's what it's supposed to feel like when you meet your twin flame. Frankly, like, it should be that. I should feel like this rather than anxiety. And is she gonna break up with me tomorrow? Is she gonna be upset at something I said to try to make her laugh? Is she upset from something she fucking read on the internet and is now upset about? Did she have a dream that I'm at fault? You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck kind of life is that? You don't have stupid problems when you're awake. Everyone needs to do it. And it's personal responsibility, and there's nothing I can do, frankly. Told him the same thing. He knows what the next test is too. And asked me what I was going to do. It's like, I know what to do. Like, the answer is the answer. But it's really funny. It's really funny how, like, when he said I'm psychic, it's like it's not necessarily being psychic, but it isn't that either. It isn't not that either. It is a matter of you can see more. Like, we had like this guy was a stranger last time I met him. I had like a deep, like, knowing I love you hug with this guy. And now I have someone in my life that is on the same spiritual path. It's like the signs that I was getting is like, something's gonna happen. Something's gonna happen. I've never felt more validated or supported, or because getting, him isolated in his own world, getting synchronicities and stuff. He's like, we're on parallel paths that didn't meet, and now that they've intersected, um, I feel like it gave us both power and strength, because it proved it to us. Like, to you, maybe not, because you're a fucking idiot. Because you don't fucking know. You didn't do it. But we literally have followed synchronicity to fucking my brother. I have followed synchronicity to someone who could validate exactly how I think and feel. And I'm not like, what if I could have done something? If only I let her kill me, then she would have been happy. I, you know, I'm not so stupid. I had to, I had to make sure. She's a lovely person and deserves love, and I hope she finds it. I hope, honestly, I pray for it every day. I swear. I pray for her happiness every day. Um, and I gotta start praying for my own fucking happiness too. Um, anyways, that is the story of how I met my spiritual brother. You saw, like, I would have skipped I was supposed to have spiritual class today. Skipped it because I got the signs of the universe to skip it so that I would come to this party. And the girl from the gym had like something to do in the like early part of when the party started. So I was like, let's not force it. I was thinking, you know, I'm open to meeting someone, but it's like, I don't need you. You can stay over there, lady. It's fine. I was just, if she was meant to come, maybe she's meant to come to meet somebody. Wasn't necessarily for me, but I'm open to the universe telling me what to do and then doing it, rather than question what the meaning is and do you think this is blah blah blah. So, and that's how I got to meet my spiritual brother. Like this guy is going to become the closest person to me because I don't have any other guy friends that think and act like me. So interesting. So you follow like the path that each step. Everything had to go exactly right, exactly wrong. I had to get sick. I had to see signs. I had to follow synchronicity to cancel spiritual class. Like maybe spiritual class. Maybe there was nothing wrong with going, but it would have prevented me from meeting this dude, re-meeting this dude, having like a real conversation and a real heart-to-heart soul connection to another human being. He was like, this was the best part of the party. I was like, yeah, yeah, obviously. Me too. Ditto, bro. Ditto, bro. Um, I can't, like, emotion wise, I can't explain it. I feel like I've been happy crying for the past hour. And I'm not completely sure why. Like, I feel like energy like leaking out of my face. It's weird. I feel like my eyes are huge and like I have to go do something. I need to get the energy out. Um, maybe there was Molly in the water. That's something I didn't think about. But this is how, why isn't life like this where you just feel happy all the time? What is with people not being happy? Looking for excuses not to be happy. I refuse. Now my brother's going to help me and I'm going to help him. Gosh, that's crazy. And he was talking about how he's like, I know that because of what I put up with and because my heart was in the right place, the universe is going to reward me. I was like, yeah, it does work like that. It does work like that. And when he said it again, my immediate thought was like, it sucks that we can't take them with us or open their eyes or can't save the ladybug. I got to tell my ladybug story. or just show them these videos. He's probably the only person who's genuinely interested um, in life. But we are such interesting creatures, huh? Monkeys that are too smart to be happy. We thought ourselves out of it. What is that? I forgot to breathe for a while. Um, I'm really happy. I just needed to say it. It's finally like a sign in the world where it's not just me, you know? Because when you're on the spiritual path, it feels like you're the only person in the world who's on it. Doesn't matter how many YouTube videos I watch or like things I read on forums or whatever, people talking about it. It never really sounds the same as my experience. People talking about like this girl told me to, oh, you'd like my friend, she's spiritual. Like, why would I like her? She like goes to Bali and has mushroom shakes, and she says she's like an Arcturian star seed from Lemuria and all this. Like, where do you get that stuff? So if you didn't hear it from someone else, you wouldn't come up with these fucking words. It's not spiritual. She's just as lost as anybody else. She's still looking for it. I'm gonna go to Bali and fuck an Australian guy, and then I'm spiritual. So if this isn't, you know what I mean? That's not it, lady. Spiritual's inside. Inside. The only way people could tell on the outside is if you're happy, if your vibration's high. Not because you wear like a certain fucking necklace or dress a certain way or whatever. Um, I'm excited that now I get to hang out with someone who I get to like bounce my ideas off. Reading this, did you read that? And then also hear how he got. I want to know how he awoke. Because he awoke in a relationship, and when we talked about it, I was like, you know, you discover things in a relationship, you work on yourself alone. So I'd be curious to hear how he figured himself out in the middle of putting out fires from his siren. I swear, from this side of the equation, it feels like a demon takes control. It feels like it's, you know, the conscious person takes a back seat and like a demon takes over and just wreaks havoc. It's like the Hulk, you know what I mean? Just rage and destruction, and then he comes back down to the other guy and he's like, "What the fuck? My clothes are ripped and there's a dead guy here." And they don't even have the decency to apologize. They're like, "No, this you made me do it to you. This is actually your fault," which is kind of funny. I have the opposite problem. I'm always like, "Yeah, you're right. I probably could have. Yeah, if you just sharpened the knife first, maybe I wouldn't live through it, and then you have no one else to blame." I'm fucking around. I'm sorry. We're just not taking it serious anymore. I realize it's a game, and I just passed a significant level. I got a reward. Got a brother. Okay. Thank you. Like, thank you, God. I'm gonna I'm gonna go enjoy my life for the first time in a while. So, if you don't mind, be happy for me. You know, I would be happy for you. It's the least you could do. Whoever's watching this. Um, I haven't felt like this in so long. I, I want to keep talking. I have nothing to say. I'm gonna go talk to other people. I'm gonna tell my good friends about this huge thing now. But yeah, I'm super happy. Super happy. I got like I passed the big test. I got super validation. I'm free. I'm out of Shawshank, motherfucker. I'm free. I'll see you soon. I promise.